Hey everyone, my name is Ellen and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to play Cruel Summer by Taylor Swift on the guitar. So stay tuned if this is something that you want to learn. You know that I caught it. Bad boy, shiny toy with the... So the song is not going to be too hard if you're a beginner, aside from the fact that there is going to be one bar chord. But if that's something that you're having trouble with, I do have a video right here about how to practice and get better at bar chords, so make sure to check that out if that's something that you're struggling with. But to play this song, my guitar is in standard tuning. I have my capo on the 2nd fret to play this in the original key with Taylor. On top of that, we're only going to need to know 5 chords and 1 strumming pattern, and that'll be it. So let's go ahead and jump into an overview of what I'm going to be teaching you in this tutorial. Alright, so like I said at the beginning, you only need to know 5 chords to play through this whole song, and those are G, C, D, B minor, and E minor. So if you already know those chords, then that's perfect and great, but if you want me to break that down for you and go over how those chords look and how to play them, make sure to skip to this time right here and I'll kind of go through the chords with you. And then after that, we're going to go into our strumming patterns. And any of you familiar with my other tutorials know I always start with a practice pattern, which is just one simple down strum on every chord change. I think this is a great way to kind of ease into any song when you're a beginner at guitar, because it really helps you get used to the song and where those chord transitions are going to be. So if this is something that you don't think you need to go through, then that's fine, we'll just move on. But if you do want to go through an example of what this sounds like within the song, make sure to skip to this time right here and I will kind of go through an example and break it down for you a little bit more. And after that, we're going to jump into the strumming pattern that I like to use with this song. As you can see, it's a little bit long. It goes down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up. And it's going to sound a little something like this. So I know this strumming pattern seems a little bit long and complicated, so if you want me to break it down for you a little bit more and go through examples of what it sounds like in the song and kind of like lead you through it, make sure to skip to this time right here and I will break that down for you a little bit more and get you a little more used to it. But if you feel like you already have the rhythm just by listening to me play it a little bit, then go ahead and skip to the end of the video here where we go through the playthrough, and that is where I have the lyrics and chords and everything you need to know on screen in front of you. So if you feel pretty confident, go ahead and skip there and we'll go through the whole song together. But if you do need a little bit more guidance, let's go ahead and go through the more in-depth part of this tutorial and we'll start with the chords. Alright, so let's take a closer look at these chords. Like I said, there are only 5 and we're going to start with our G chord, which looks like this and sounds like this. After that, we've got C, which looks like this and sounds like this. Next, we have D, which looks like this and sounds like this. After that, we have B minor, which is our bar chord, and that looks like this and sounds like this. And then the last chord you need to know is E minor, which looks like this and sounds like this. And those are the only 5 chords you need to know for this song. Alright, so once you have those chords memorized, make sure you can transition between them because this song does move a little bit quickly. If you need help with transitioning between chords faster, I do have a TMT for that as well, where I give you tips and tricks and also show you a few exercises that you can do to get better at those. But with that being said, let's go ahead and move on to the strumming patterns that you can use for this song. Bad boy, shiny toy with the price, you know that I bought it. Killing me slow, out the window. Always waiting for you to be waiting below. Devils roll the dice, angels roll their eyes. Alright, so like I always say, if you're brand new to guitar, the first strumming pattern I always suggest that you use with any new song is our practice pattern, which is just one down strum on the beat for every chord change. This is really going to help you get used to those chord transitions, get faster at them, and also kind of get used to the song so you know where to expect the chord transitions when the strumming patterns get a little bit harder. So let's go ahead and go through an example of this. I'm going to put my G chord on since that's the first chord in the chorus, and let's go ahead and go through the chorus. All you want to do is strum down once on your G, then you go to your B minor, strum down once, then we have E minor, strum down once, and then we have C, strum down once. All right, and you're just gonna go through the entire song like that, kind of sing through it so that you know where those chord transitions are gonna be happening on what lyrics and things like that. So here's an example for the chorus. It's new, the shape of your body is blue, the feeling I got and it's true, oh, it's a cruel summer. All right, and you basically want to do that from the very beginning of the song to the very end. You can even fast forward here to the end and do the one down strum while I play through the song just to get used to it. But once you've done that and you feel pretty confident with knowing where those chord transitions are going to take place, then we can move on to our strumming pattern. So the strumming pattern I like to use for this song is quite long. As you can see, it's down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up. And even though it is kind of lengthy, once you get the rhythm of it, I think it becomes a lot easier. On top of that, we are going to be transitioning between our chords in the middle of this strumming pattern whenever we do the verses. So let me go ahead and explain it to you a little bit more. Let's go ahead and put our G chord down, and we're just gonna go through the motions of this pattern. All right, so we've got down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up. All right, so make sure to take that as slowly as you need to for as long as you need to before you get the motions. There are going to be a lot of circle motions where you have to go from a down strum back to a down strum, so you have to circle your hand back around. So if you're a beginner, those are all things that are great to practice so that you can get more used to more difficult strumming patterns. But moving on, let's go ahead and put this in rhythm so you can hear what it sounds like in rhythm. So let me play it for you once so you can hear it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up. All right, why don't you put your G chord on and try that with me? Let's slow it down just a little bit so you guys can keep up. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up. Again. Down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up. All right, great. So if you were able to keep up with me, then let's move on. If you were not, then make sure to rewind and keep practicing it at that pace until you can get it. So once you've gotten the rhythm down at that slower speed, let's go ahead and speed it up a little bit so that we can get it at the tempo that the song actually is in. So let me play it for you once so you can hear it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So I know that is significantly faster than what we just practiced it at. So if you cannot keep up at that tempo, go ahead and pause the video and do it at the slower tempo and slowly speed yourself up until you're able to keep up with me at this tempo. So go ahead and put your G chord on and let's practice that together at tempo. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up. Great. And so once you can get it at tempo, now all we want to do is put in those chord transitions. So I want to start with the chorus first because in the chorus, what we're going to do is play through this entire pattern through once for each chord change. So let me put the chord progressions up here for you. You can see in the chorus, we're going from G to B minor to E minor to C. So let's go ahead and try those chord transitions. We've got our G chord on and we're going to play the pattern through once. Down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up. Then you switch to your next chord, which is B minor, and do the same exact thing. Down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up. Then we have E minor, down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up. and then C. Down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up. All right, awesome. So that's basically how you're going to play most of this song, is going through this entire pattern through once for each chord change. However, in the verses, she does kind of switch chords a little bit faster. So I wanted to show you how we are going to break that up in this strumming pattern. So let's bring it back around to the first verse. The strumming pattern is going to be exactly the same as you just played it, but what we're going to do a little bit differently is we're going to change our chords in the middle of the strumming pattern. So if you put your C chord on, instead of holding it down for the whole strumming pattern, what we actually want to do is switch to our next chord, which is our D chord, in the middle of this pattern. So for the first chord, we have down, 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 up, and then for the second chord, we finish it out with down, up, down, 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 up. All right, so let me go ahead and go through an example for you. At the first verse, we've got C into D, and the way you would do that is you would play your C chord for the first half of this pattern, down, 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 up, and then right here in the middle of the pattern, you would switch to your next chord, which is our D chord, and then finish out the pattern. Down, up, down, 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 up. All right? So see how the pattern is still exactly the same as we just practiced, but we're switching our chords a little bit faster because we're switching in the middle. So go ahead and put your C chord on and try that with me. We're only doing half. We've got down, 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 up. Now switch to your D chord and finish it out. Down, up, down, 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 up. Perfect. So once you understand where we're going to put those chord transitions, now we just have to put the rest of them in. So let me go ahead and put that on screen for you guys. So with our C chord, we've got down, 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 up, switch to D, down, up, down, 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 up, switch to your B minor chord, down, 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 up, and then switch to your E minor chord, down, up, down, 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 up. Perfect. So once you understand where those chord transitions are going to be, again, what you want to do now is speed it up so that we can play it at tempo. So go ahead and put your C chord on since that's the first chord in the verse, and let's speed it up a little. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Perfect. So once you can do the faster chord transitions in the verse, and then you can also pull through the whole pattern for the choruses, you pretty much have the entire song down. One last thing that I did want to show you guys though, you do not need to do this in your cover at all, but it's just something that I suggest because I do think it sounds a little bit cooler, is I will take this exact same pattern, and what I'll do is during the verses and the bridge and things like that, I will put a little bit of a palm mute on it. So what I'm doing there is I'm taking the side of my hand that has my pick in it, and while I'm strumming down, because you can hear when you normally strum down, your strings ring a lot, right? But if you kind of rest the side of your hand here on your strings really lightly between your sound hole and your bridge, and then you do that strum, it kind of mutes the ringing. All right, so you can still hear the notes, but it's not ringing and not as loud as when you don't do the palm mute. So why don't you go ahead and try this with me. Put your hand on your strings really lightly between the sound hole and the bridge, and we'll do this exact same pattern exactly how we just did it, and you'll hear the difference with this little palm mute. All right, so did you hear the difference there? It's just a little bit more muted, a little bit more percussive, and I just think that when you switch up the guitar whenever you do like a cover or something, it kind of gives it a little more interest and helps to drive the song. So what I will be doing in my cover is doing the palm mute during the verses and the bridge, and then letting it ring out during the choruses. But like I said, this is not something that you have to do. If you like the way that it rings, or you are having struggles with the palm muting thing, then go ahead and just do the whole song with it ringing, and I think that'll sound fine too. Alright, but once you have those chords memorized, you've practiced transitioning between them, and you've got that strumming pattern down at tempo, let's go ahead and mix all of those things that we learned together, and we can play through the whole song. Always waiting for you just to cut to the bone. Devils roll the dice, angels roll their eyes, and if I bleed you'll be the last to know. Oh, it's blue, shape of your body is blue. This is Cruel Summer by Taylor Swift. Good luck. Fever dream high in the quiet of the night, you know that I caught it. Bad, bad boy, shiny toy with the price, you know that I bought it. Killing me slow, out the window. Always waiting for you to be waiting below. Devils roll the dice, angels roll their eyes, and doesn't kill me, makes me want you more. It's new, the shape of your body is blue. The feeling I've got and it's you. Cruel summer, it's cool. That's what I tell her, no rules. Unbreakable heaven, but it's a cruel summer with you. Hang your head low in the glow of the vending machine, I'm not dying. We say that we'll just screw it up in these trying times, we're not trying. Cut the headlights, summer's a knife. Always waiting for you just to cut to the bone. Devils roll the dice, angels roll their eyes, and if I bleed you'll be the last to know. Oh, it's blue, the shape of your body is blue. The feeling I got and it's you. It's a cruel summer, it's cool. That's what I tell her, no rules. Unbreakable heaven, but it's a cruel summer with you. I'm drunk in the back of the car, cry like a baby coming home from the bar. Said I'm fine, but it wasn't true. Wanna keep secrets just to keep you, and I snuck in through the garden gate every night that summer just to seal my fate. I scream for whatever it's worth. I love you, ain't that the worst thing you ever heard? He looks up, grinning like a devil, it's new. The shape of your body is blue. The feeling I got and it's you. It's a cruel summer, it's cool. That's what I tell her, no rules. Unbreakable heaven, but it's a cruel summer with you. I'm drunk in the back of the car, cry like a baby coming home from the bar. Said I'm fine, but it wasn't true. I don't wanna keep secrets just to keep you, and I snuck in through the garden gate every night that summer just to seal my fate. I scream for whatever it's worth. I love you, ain't that the worst thing you ever heard? Alright, so that was my tutorial for Cruel Summer by Taylor Swift. I really hope that it helped you. If it did, make sure to give me a thumbs up down below, as well as to leave a comment of any other song you want me to do a tutorial for in the future. Here are my social media sites in case you'd like to follow me on any of those. That's just where I do fun little things like behind the scenes looks and sneak peeks, polls and giveaways, and this is also where I go to find someone to feature in my new segment Forever Features. This week we have Rajiv from Trinidad playing Say So by Doja Cat. Let's give it a listen.
Why don't you say so? Didn't even notice, no punches left to roll with. You got to keep me focused, you wanted say so. Been a long time since you fell in love. You ain't come out your shell, don't look like yourself. Tell me what must I do, tell my love.
So if you want to be featured in an upcoming tutorial, make sure to follow me on Instagram and post a short cover of you singing any song that you learned from any of my tutorials. Use that hashtag #ForeverFeatures in the description so that I can find it, and the next feature spot could be you. One last little plug, if you liked the shirt I was wearing in today's tutorial, this is my Music is Forever shirt, and you can find this in my merch store linked down below as well as under this video. Every purchase there helps to make this channel a little bit better and helps me continue making free tutorials for you guys. So thanks so much for anyone who has supported me in that way. And yeah, I guess that wraps things up. So I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. You ever heard?